Hi guys, it's Peter Berryman here from the Apex Racing team. iRacing's 2025 Season 2 build is here. One of the highlights for myself as an IndyCar driver on the sim is Portland. I haven't driven Portland before in any other games. I only really know it from IndyCar in real life. We had Scott McLaughlin, who's obviously a famous driver in that series, on the sim team around the time of COVID. And I started watching IndyCar myself pretty much because he joined the series. And that's really my only experience with the track, is a few years on the real life calendar for IndyCars. If you want to take your racing to the next level this season, then check out apexracingac.com. I'll be covering myself this season a number of GT4 cars along with LMP3 and a lot other single seaters such as the Super Formulas and the F3 car. So let's jump into the IndyCar at Portland and see what it's all about. Alright, so let us drive out of pit lane then. I have done a few laps previous to this just so I get a rough idea of where I'm going. I don't think people really want to watch me, well, maybe people do want to watch me just shunting the car into walls non-stop. So from watching on TV, I know that it is quite a narrow circuit in a lot of places, as you can see here with the twisty stuff. But I do know that there is plenty of overtaking spots around the track, and this is one of them. You can see very, very wide on the entry coming from a tight left-hander. This is probably the strongest overtaking point on the track. I would say this is dive bomber's paradise, really, and that leads directly onto a back straight. Not really an easy overtaking opportunity at the bottom of the straight here, just simply because of the speed on the entry, but depending on how the previous section goes, you could definitely enter in this section too wide. Quite a tricky last sector there, mainly just due to the curbing. It's probably only a real issue with bottoming on single seaters, but guys that are going to be racing, you know, NASCARs and GTs really won't have to worry too much. And it's a similar vibe on T1 here with the cutting over of the curbs. There's two main things that I look for in a track. First thing is if it's actually fun to drive. Secondly is how does it race. So in terms of being fun to drive, I think no matter what car you take around here, it's got a really, really nice flow, similar to tracks like Mid-Ohio. IndyCar is probably, I would say, the limit of where it's actually possible to make overtakes, and even then it will be quite difficult, although there is opportunities. But I think every car that you go slower than that is very easy to make overtakes. I think the track is relatively easy. The corners aren't too complex. There's no crazy track limit corners that we need to abuse. It's pretty old school. You've got grass and dirt on either side of the curbs. There's nothing to really be gamed out of the circuit. It keeps things competitive and close because there's no crazy difficult line that you need to nail to pull 3-4 tenths, which I think will just make the track more enjoyable for everyone, really. I think this will be a popular track for how enjoyable it is to drive. So we've just run some laps at the IndyCar around Portland. Overall, my thoughts on the track are definitely worth purchasing. High speed, plenty of overtaking opportunities and a really good flow. Overall, very, very enjoyable track. Myself, as well as many others on ART, do track guides and setups for a number of cars and track combinations for multiple series on iRacing on the Apex Racing Academy. We cover many popular series on the sim, such as IMSA and GT Sprint series, so head on over to apexracingac.com to get yourself a subscription. Best of luck this iRacing season, and I hope to see you out on track.